Hi, I'm Hana Q. I'm an artist, and I share my art processes here on YouTube and also ramble about art shenanigans and motivational things. Today I'll be sharing my League of Legends Bewitching fan art processes. I hope you will enjoy it. Perhaps you could already tell by the theme, but I intended to have this video up around Halloween, but as things go, life got in the way, so I switched up the theme for this video. Instead, I'd like to ramble about 4 things I learned this year that helped me become a better artist and person. I also want to share my goals and plans for the new year. I'm also a little bit sick at the moment, so please excuse any nasally sounds. But yeah, feel free to get yourself a cup of tea and join me on reflecting on the year. Healing actually helps you make better art. Perhaps you found yourself struggling to draw after experiencing trauma, or maybe you've burnt yourself out and now struggle to get any ideas out on paper. It turns out that when you're experiencing depression or the effects of trauma, it becomes more difficult to access your creativity. I, like every other human on the planet, have had my fair share of hardships and difficult memories to overcome. Heck, even this year, I went through one of the hardest times of my life. During the times I was depressed, I lacked inspiration and even stopped drawing for 2 or more years. It was extremely difficult, but things weren't getting better by just ignoring it or letting time heal all wounds, as they say. While it's true that you need time to heal, if you don't actively address your traumas and issues by implementing solutions into your life, you actually won't get any better by just leaving it be. I was struggling with on and off pain and depression and mood swings for most of my life, and I finally told myself this year that enough is enough. I looked into solutions and tackled my biggest issues, bad habits, and mindsets. And I'm happy to say I've finally begun healing. I started to regain confidence, optimism, hope, joy, and best of all, my creative energy has started healing. I started to feel like myself again after many, many years, and I find myself unable to sleep at night with all of the ideas and inspiration I get. My improvement and creativity have skyrocketed, and I've truly felt the happiest I've been in a long time. If you are in the same position that I was, give yourself the opportunity to actively heal your heart. And I mean really look into solutions and put them into place. I won't say it will be easy, but it will be worth it. And you owe it to yourself to express your creativity and art to the world. Got this. Good luck. I also just finished my Bewitching Nami, so enjoy this final preview of her. Valuing your time and self-worth. This year, I learned the true meaning of valuing my time and self-worth. And by doing that, I had to make sure I surrounded myself with people who also value me. Earlier this year, I went through a situation that left me questioning my abilities and self-worth, to the point I spiraled into a deep depression that drained all of my energy. The truth was, I was completely capable, but I allowed an outside force to influence how I saw myself, and even let it take up so much of my time and energy. It drained me terribly, but it taught me one very important lesson. Nothing is worth destroying my well-being over. Not money, not friendship, not anything. I learned to put myself and my needs first. And you will see later in this video how I am beginning to manifest this for myself. We are all amazing human beings with awesome skill sets and abilities to provide for people. It's important to know when to trade your time and skill, and when to know when it's just not worth it to do so. We all will definitely make the mistake of forgetting to put ourselves first. But hopefully you learn some great things about yourself in the process. For me, I learned that I am a kick-ass artist and designer and live 2D animator. That being said, enjoy this final preview of Prestige Bewitching Morgana. Build good habits, break bad habits. I'm a gamer at heart. I grew up taking turns with my brothers on the original Game Boy playing Pokemon Yellow. playing mobile games in my classes when the teacher wasn't looking. Heck, even 90% of my art is League of Legends related, and I'm drawing League characters right now. To be fair, I love gaming. It's a big inspiration for me and a huge part of my childhood. But let's just say these days, I haven't had the best relationship with it. I mentioned earlier that I took a break from art for 2+ years. Well, during that time, to drown my sad feelings, I would game all day and night for at least 10 hours a day. Even when I decided I would draw again, I'd still game 10 times more than I was drawing. Now, normally, if something makes you happy, I'd say keep doing it. But the thing was, it wasn't making me happy. In fact, it made me miserable. I'd load up the client, telling myself, alright, only one game. And before I knew it, 5 hours would pass, and I'd get upset at myself because I had plans that day or I was planning to draw instead. The worst part was I wasn't even enjoying the game while I was playing it, because I would consistently run into toxicity. But I was addicted to the dopamine rush. The instant reward of winning or beating a level, followed by chasing a win after each loss, was an endless cycle of habitual gaming. At that point, I started to employ this piece of advice. Avoid the dopamine train. Yes, drawing wouldn't give me the instant gratification of a game, but it would be so much more satisfying to know that I put in the time and effort into a skill I care about. I also started to employ the tactics of putting more steps between habits you want to break and lessening the steps between habits you want to create. For example, since I wanted to game less, I unpinned the League client from my taskbar and pinned the Live2D Cubism app there instead. That way, the first thing I would see upon loading up my PC was Live2D instead of League, and by not having League so easily accessible, I wouldn't launch it nearly as often. This is just a very simple example, but the logic still applies. If you want to eat healthier, have apples on your desk or on a table that is easily reachable, and it will make it that much easier for you to start building that habit. Make things easier for yourself to build better habits. I stopped fighting myself on the idea that maybe I just wasn't motivated or inspired enough to draw. In fact, I believe people aren't necessarily more motivated than you. They just have built better habits than you. When I realized this, I began to put more effort into creating better habits for myself by tracking all of the habits I wanted to build for myself and rewarding myself when I actually did do it. I could go on and on about this topic, but I'll leave that for another video I'd like to go in depth more in. The truth is, I still game, and I still give into my bad habits sometimes. But what matters is the fact that you're thinking about bettering yourself, and you're putting in action to change. It doesn't matter what method or mindset you use to approach this, as long as you practice doing good things for yourself and practice lessening the bad things for yourself. Now for a short commercial break with a preview of the finished Bewitching Syndra. Letting go of expectations. I've struggled my whole life with perfectionism, but at times my need to do things perfectly would paralyze me from actually doing said things. When things didn't turn out perfect, I would blame it on imperfect conditions, environments, distractions, etc. As much as I expected out of myself, I didn't have half of the ability to even accomplish those things. I tell myself, well, I could do it before, so why not now? Or, I'm better than this. I must be able to do it. It was hard because my insane expectations of myself were growing and I wasn't able to keep up. I would bully myself when I wasn't able to achieve certain things, and in the last few months, I told myself I needed to stop hurting myself. Here's how I let go of expectations. 1. Accept yourself as you are. Don't set goals for yourself that aren't achievable and then beat yourself up after. We're all flawed human beings, and we have to account for that as well. I won't always have optimum days, and that's okay. I'm okay the way I am, but I'm also going to improve and get better to achieve the goals I set for myself. 2. Reward yourself for doing anything, even if just a little. What's more important is to build yourself up to big tasks. And sometimes that starts off with doing something little. Being genuinely proud of that is important. Rome wasn't built in a day. 3. Stop comparing. You can't look at other people and get upset because you're not at the same level. We all start somewhere, and it's important not to hold yourself on such a high pedestal. When you accept yourself as you are, which may be an imperfect being, it allows yourself to see yourself realistically and learn how to start from level 1 and level up to being an awesome artist and person. Honestly, it's fun when I think about how I'm leveling up with each action I'm taking. This was the most important lesson I learned this year. Every time I would catch myself getting mad at myself for not achieving in a day what I thought I should be achieving, I'd stop to breathe and take a minute to remember how much I've grown and be proud of what I did manage to do. In a weird way, this concept of expecting less of myself actually took the pressure off of me so that I ended up being even more confident and productive. It's amazing what your brain can do for you when you treat it right. Preparing for the new year. It's been my hardest year yet, and somehow those hardships made the good moments this year even more sweet. I'm grateful to have any supporters at all, and I feel that with some of these lessons I learned, I'm able to do some special things this year. So, without revealing everything, I'd like to share my goals for you all this year. I'd like to make and post more YouTube content. I have some exciting ideas to create educational, informative, and motivational videos for you all to pursue your dreams and art journeys. I'm very excited to share these with you in the new year. I want to upload art regularly. Now that I'm taking my health seriously, I think I'm able to achieve my long-time goal of uploading art regularly. I'd love it if you guys could follow me on Instagram and Twitter to keep up with my new artworks. They're gonna be super awesome. I want to cultivate a kind community that I can provide value to. This year, I want to help foster a community that can learn from and encourage each other. Whatever you guys need from me, I will do my best to provide for you guys. Alright, here's the final preview of the video of Bewitching Yuumi. Thank you for supporting me. If you like my content, I would appreciate it if you could like, comment, and subscribe. There's a lot of exciting things to come this year. Let's make our second year on YouTube incredible. I'll be finishing off the video by showing all the finished pieces. May Lady Luck be by your side on achieving your goals and dreams. Bye!